hostile environment, a great environment though for college basketball. You have to commend Kansas State's fans and students for coming out and supporting their basketball team. This is a good team we beat. I thought we did a tremendous job defensively. They were averaging about 82 points a game and to hold them to 53. We switched our defenses up a little bit and did some different things, forced some turnovers. Our guys were active. It's probably, I can't speak for Kansas State or for Frank, probably an ugly game to watch offensively. But fortunately for us, we were able to finish some plays, and Blake was tremendous. And so I feel really good to get this win. It's the first time Oklahoma men's basketball team has won on the road in the north in a while, and we feel good to be 1-0.
Your guys talked about the 1-3-1. Talk about why break it out today, and does it fit your team?
Well, it's something we've done in the past. We hadn't done it this year, hadn't practiced it until Wednesday. Going into conference, obviously, you want to look at some different things and some different looks, and we want to get better as a basketball team. And so we thought it's something that that we've done in the past that could help us out, and it certainly helped us out today.
Coach, why was it so effective? I mean, you played it awfully well for 2 days of practice.
Well, it was probably effective for a couple of reasons. Number one, they hadn't seen it. They hadn't seen us do it this year, so probably wasn't prepared for it. Number two, we were active in it. We had active hands, active bodies, and so you combine those two things, we were able to get some turnovers. K-State looked a little confused, not knowing how to attack it. It's a different look, and again, our guys were active in it and forced those turnovers.
What's the key to it? What do you?
Activity. I mean, it's look, we could do this on Monday or next week, and it could be bad. I mean, it just worked for us today. We were fortunate. We were active in it. You have to be active, have some athletes, have a little bit of size. We only do it with certain lineups in the game, certain guys on the floor for us. But it was definitely effective for us today.
Coach, how important was the way you closed out the first half, the last 5 minutes?
It was big. It was big. Kansas State really had control of the game and had a couple of chances there where it could have gotten away from us. But we were able to close it out, especially at the under 4 timeout. We did a good job, and that's ironically when we switched to 1-3-1. We were able to get some stops. We were able to rebound the ball, and it allowed us to get out in transition and get a couple of easy baskets. This game was such, both teams are good defensively, that anytime you had a chance to get easy baskets, you wanted to take advantage of it. And we took advantage of some. We missed up on some, but we were able to do that. And then we were able to get the ball to Blake in certain spots, and he was able to make some plays for us.
Coach, you didn't have anybody other than Blake and Taylor score until 2:55 mark of the first half. I mean, was that by design to try to get the ball inside of those guys, or just work out there?
But it wasn't by design to not have anyone score. Obviously, we want to go to Blake. We always want to go through him and play through him because he draws a lot of attention. But Kansas State did a good job of taking our guards away. They were overplaying, and so we couldn't get into things. We actually started running everything from dribble entry instead of some of the stuff where we hit guys as they get open and run different kind of cuts. So you have to give credit to their defense, first of all, for doing that. But it certainly helps when you have a guy like Blake.
Were you surprised that they emphasized defending guards instead of double teaming Blake a lot?
I'm not really surprised by anything anyone does. They have an identity, and it's a really good identity. And Frank's done a great job here, and that's been their identity: is defense and pressure and denying, and different things like that. And they have different bodies, big bodies that they can throw at guys. And I think what they did, at least what it seemed like, was okay. Let's take everyone else away and let's try to play Blake straight up and challenge our guys. Challenge his guys. And Blake just made some plays today. He's a really good player. He's a different guy than most guys in the country. Kansas State's used to seeing that. I mean, you saw it all last year with Beasley. And fortunately, we have a guy. I'm not saying he's as good, but I think he's pretty doggone good.
You mentioned, kind of referenced that. Frank has said that preparing for Blake was like what many coaches probably had to do for Beasley a year ago. Is there comparisons between the two?
I'm pretty sure media back in Norman and Oklahoma City and the state of Oklahoma were asking me that last year because we didn't double Beasley. That was our plan. We knew we weren't going to stop him. We wanted to try to contain him and try to take everyone else away. Everyone else made shots for him last year, and in a heck of a basketball game. Coming into this game, we've been actually playing, scoring the ball well, shooting the ball well, especially Willie Warren and Tony Crocker. And so it's kind of pick your poison there. If you go doubled and you're leaving those guys open where they can get started. And so sometimes you challenge your guys individually, a certain group of guys to maybe get after and make it tough. But sometimes when you're really good, it doesn't, defenses don't matter as much. Again, you guys here saw that last year with different things that people tried with Beasley, and Blake's a tremendous player.
Short turnaround for a big game Monday night.
Yep, we'll be ready. We tried to schedule last weekend like this weekend. We played Saturday, Monday last weekend. We played at 12:30 on Saturday in preparation, and then at 7. Obviously, the level of competition is not what it is this weekend. It was Coppin State and Maryland Eastern Shore, and that was Kansas State and Texas. So, we'll be ready. Hopefully Lloyd Noble's rocking. Wish our students were there. Wish school was back in. But we'll be excited to play them. They're tremendous. Have so much respect for them. I hadn't studied them. I've watched them, but I hadn't studied them. They play as hard as anyone I've seen in college basketball. They defend you, they attack, they have really good players, and they're well coached. So we'll be ready to go.
With so much focus on you and Texas in the league, how important is it being on your home floor?
Well, it's important. Taking care of home is paramount. You have to be able to do that. But it's still only the second conference game, and so we don't want to make it like it's the ultimate game. It's a big game, don't get me wrong, and we definitely want to win. We haven't beaten those guys, and so we definitely want to win. The main thing I want us to do is to really compete at a very, very high level, because that's what it's going to take to give us a chance to beat those guys.
Coach, moving forward, you have a core group of guys. You play 5-6 guys a lot of minutes. Moving forward through the conference season, do you see that possibly becoming an issue with depth?
No, not at all. We're in good shape.
Coach, Kansas lost today. Have you had a chance to look at the Jayhawks, look at the North at all?
No, not really. I've watched them a little bit. I can't even tell you who beat them today. I have no idea who they played. I don't know other matchups in the league. My focus was on Kansas State.
Anything else?